Hello, I hope you're doing great. Today we are going to talk about something different, how you can get jobs as a freelancer. Now, before we continue, please remember to visit fairplaytube.bticostarica.com, click on the Buy Me a Coffee icon, select a donation of your preference, and this will allow us to keep the videos and products free for you. Okay, so you may be wanting to start working as a freelancer, right? There are multiple reasons. Maybe you do not like to be working for a company. Maybe you are having issues trying to find a work. I know that a lot of um, new developers that are just coming out of the university or graduating, they are complaining a lot because they are saying that the companies are requesting a lot of experience that it's pretty much impossible to have in a developer that has never worked, right? That is just trying to figure out the business world, right? And get their first job in software development. So you could try to work as a freelancer. Now, there are certain things that you need to do first so that more people actually consider you, right? The reality out there is that, I'm sorry, the reality out there is that it is a huge market, right? There is a lot of people competing with each other, right? And the last couple of years, there has been like an increase in the requirements even for entry level jobs, right? And that's actually a complaint in the community, not only from new software developers, it is also a complaint from most experienced software developers in the field because they want more people, they want new developers to get jobs, but sometimes not even the old people with 15, 20 years, 30 years of experience updating themselves have opportunities because they are also being requested a lot of impossible experience, right? There are jobs that actually um, request you for, let's say, 10 years of experience in a technology that since the beta, it hasn't been out there for more than 3 years, right? So there are a lot of things like that. If you are like me, for example, I am a person that like to be creating a lot, right? I am not really comfortable staying in a project, the same project for 10, 5, 10 years, right? I like to be honest, that project is constantly updating and you are constantly learning a lot of new cool stuff and technologies in the same project, right? Which usually does not happen. Um, so there are a lot of people that have that kind of personality. They like to be creating, they like to be learning a lot, they like to be testing new stuff, right? So there is some point where they just get bored in a specific project that may become repetitive, right? So working as a freelancer is actually a potential solution for that kind of personality because depending on your contracts and how you work, you may get, for example, um, a project that lasts 3 months, another project for 1 week, another project for 1 year, another project for 6 months, right? And so on, right? So usually uh, we'll be working in a lot of cool different projects. You will be learning a lot, right? And actually, you will need to be learning a lot because you will have a bigger competition out there, right? So in those cases, working as a freelancer is actually a good idea, right? Uh, it is actually also a good idea for new developers. Um, for example, let's say that you are a new developer and you want to enter to join a company, right? And the companies are asking a lot of impossible requirements that a junior developer um, may not have because they have never worked, right? Let's say that's the case. So what you can do is you can start applying for entry level freelance jobs, right? And some people will actually consider you, right? Of course, you need to work on your cover letter, on your resume, right? You need to prove yourself, right? And that's a little bit what we are going to see today. Now, the first thing, where do you get freelance jobs? Where do you search for those, right? Okay, there are a couple of places, online places where you can look. There is Upwork, right? There is Fiverr, there is freelancer.com, there is guru.com, there is Top Total, and there is Crossover. As far as I know, Top Total and Crossover are some of the most of the websites with most quality, uh, better pay jobs, right? Uh, Top Total, however, it's they have a kind of a strong, or I don't know how to say it. Basically, what they saying is that they hire the top talent, right? So it's supposed to be really, really difficult to enter, right? It's also supposed that the customers that they have in there are actually really big brands that pay a lot. Now, it has a weakness. They're actually a lot of this kind of website have has one weakness, and it is the practice test or the skill validation test that they apply that do not really reflect the real world um, required skills, right? There is just a base, but they do not really reflect the reality. For example, this even happened in software development companies. Sometimes they ask you for like a test with algorithms that you may have not worked for over 10 years and things like that, right? So you may not remember how to do it because, for example, if you are a senior developer, one of the things that you will start doing is you will start taking advantage of tools that do a lot of things for you to optimize your work and reduce your cost. So that usually also translates in that you do not have a lot of your initial knowledge fresh on your mind because you haven't really been working deeply on it um, for your own sake and for the project's sake in order to work faster and deliver better quality software, right? Taking advantage of tools. Um, so this kind of skill test that they do in a couple of these websites and the companies do not really reflect the real world, right? So this is actually one of the weaknesses that I know that Top Total has, right? But they claim that they hire the top 3% of freelance talent, right? And it has some good reviews about how customers pay, right? Crossover, actually, you will see crossover announced all over the place. You see it in LinkedIn, you see it in Facebook, you see it in a lot of places, and they actually have some really cool jobs in there. They promote a lot of really cool jobs, right? There is guru.com. I've seen some interesting jobs in the jobs list in there, right? But I haven't really worked on it. There is freelancer.com and there is fiverr.com. Freelancer.com is kind of in the middle. It's supposed to be one of the widely used websites, right, for freelance jobs. There are some high quality jobs in there. It has some good um, pay, right? Um, Fiverr, it's similar, but it's more for what you would call like gigs. It's kind of small projects. That will be kind of the best way to translate it, right? But you can create your own gig and design it, right? It's also widely used. Upwork, um, it's kind it's also kind of in the middle. It's actually one of the most promoted too. You will see it a lot in Twitter, in Facebook, in LinkedIn, in a lot of places. Um, One of the things, however, that you will notice in here is that a lot of the jobs that you will find in here are actually low pay jobs. Some are entrepreneurs, right? Trying to validate their ideas, validate how much their development will cost, right? Uh, Others are entrepreneurs that do not have a really big budget, so they cannot really pay more. There are also other people trying to take advantage of you, right? So you need to be careful with that. Um, and something that you need also to see in these websites is that sometimes there are also jobs that you may think are paying low, but they may be thinking they are paying high, and that will be due to I don't know how how you say this term in English, but their currency, their local currency valuation, right? So like $15 in Costa Rica is not the same as $15 in the United States, and it's not the same as $15 in the other parts of the world, right? When you convert it to the local currency, um, that will change a little, right? So in some places, $5 could be like $30 in here, something like that, right? I'm no expert in the economy and all that, right? But that's kind of the thing that you may see in there. Now, these are the websites that you can use, right? These are just some of the websites. There are a lot out there, but these are just some of the most common. But how do you get a job in there, right? Okay, first, you need to start designing your cover letter, right? Your cover letter is basically something about you, why expressing why you are good, right? Expressing your qualities, right? And your achievements, something that uh, it's about you, right? Also, you need to start designing your resume. Now, when you are starting, your resume will probably be, I just studied this, I am graduated from this university, right? I obtained a bachelor degree in this specific area, right? And if you haven't worked, you won't be able to put your professional experience. However, here is the thing that you need to start doing. If you are a new software developer, actually, even before you are going to graduate, one of the things that you need to start doing is using GitHub. GitHub is an open source community that allows you to share code with the world, right? So you can basically create your applications, your own public code, upload it to GitHub, and use it as a proof that you have certain skills and the skills that you are talking about, right? So, for example, if you are new software development, one of the things that you could do is actually publish your university projects in GitHub. Now, do it after they have reviewed, and if you did the projects with your coworkers, you need to ask permission, right? And you need to make sure that your code can be published, right? Um, you can also start creating your own code, right? Basically, try to get some ideas and publish them in GitHub, right? They do not have to be big systems. Actually, it is recommended that you start with simple stuff, right? You can do things as simple as, I don't know, a console application, uh, printing the text in different colors, right? So you show that you know the language, that you know how to create console applications, right? That you know how you did, that you know how to use the variables, how to use the methods or whatever frameworks or SDKs that you are using to make that functionality work, right? Some other things that you can do is actually record um, videos of you learning, right? If you have seen YouTube channel, and there are a lot of people that actually record or publish videos about learning this skill, right? Learning C Sharp, learning React, learning Java, learning machine learning, learning AI, right? Learning English, and learning a lot of language, things like that, right? You can also start doing that kind of things, right? And have a shared profile. Create a LinkedIn profile and fill it. When you have a LinkedIn profile, you will see that um, it will have like it will give you how many stars you have from 1 to 5, right? And basically, it is the purpose of it is to encourage you to complete your profile to gain more visibility, right, and look more professional. So um, put a photo in there, right? Fill your profile with your information about you, about your achievements in school, achievements in university, the projects that you have done, right? If you are, for example, university student, or if you recently graduated, put information about the projects that you did while you were on classes, right? And start creating your own ideas and projects, and also publish them in there as part of your experience, right? That will give you more credibility. And the other thing that you need to start doing is also getting contacts in LinkedIn. Contact more people, right? Telling them, for example, start contacting recruiters, tell them, for example, that you are a software developer, right? That you are a freelancer, or whatever your main, whatever you want to call yourself. Tell them that you will always be that you want to connect because you are interested in knowing about potential opportunities now or in the future, right? Connect with them, connect with more people about the fields that you are interested in, right? Um, for example, if you are interested in things like Angular, then look for people publishing Angular things on LinkedIn, right? Then contact them, tell them that you want to expand that that if you have liked their articles, tell them that you have liked their articles, right? That you are interested in knowing more, and that you want to connect with them in order to expand your network in those fields, right? You will find there are a lot of uh, really good people in there, and that will help you, right? And you may also be able to help them at some point, right? So yeah, remember, create a GitHub account, start publishing your own small projects. They do not have to be big. Actually, start with small, simple stuff, and continue growing. Create multiple projects, right? You can create, for example, uh, a small project that will eventually grow. And I reiterate, create a GitHub profile and publish as much code as you can. And actually, uh, always, every single time that you are going to create a project for learning or just to test your ideas, right? Create create a repository in GitHub and have it in there. Uh, if you don't want to share that code, make it private, right? But keep it in GitHub or in Azure DevOps, right? And this, I guarantee you that this will help you in the future because you will find that probably 5 years from now or 10 years from the time you did that, you will find yourself having to implement the same functionality that you have implemented in the past in one of your own projects. So you can actually go back to that project, see what you did, reuse it if it is possible and allowed to reuse it, or take that as a base and improve it in the project you are working on. That actually helps a lot. And then if you did the things right, you will be able to sell libraries, component libraries, right, or NuGet packages, right, based on the code that you have been writing for years. So do a GitHub repository. That's highly recommended. And the public repositories, of course, so people can see it, recruiters can see it, interviewers can see it, and also you can create blogs. I forgot about that. Create blogs and make sure that your blogs, uh, pretty much that every blog or video that you record and publish has links to those resources. That will give you more visibility and will give you more um, opportunities, right? So when you apply to freelance jobs, one of the things that people will do is go and check your profiles, see some information about you, right? And if they like it, they will call you to an interview and you may be hired, right? So that's one of the ways in which you can actually um, get some jobs in there. I hope this has been useful. Thank you very much and have a great day. Also, please remember subscribe to the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel if you are looking this in any of those. You can also follow me on LinkedIn and remember to visit fairplaytube.pdicostarica.com. Click the Buy Me a Coffee icon, select a donation of your preference, and this will help us keep the videos and products free for you. Have a great day.